Hello everyone, welcome back. Okay, so I brought in this hawthorn that I collected last year out of my garden. I collected it a few years ago. It was just a whip of a thing, and I put it in the front garden, and I just basically chopped it back. See, there's this big chop here and one here, and a few older chops. So yeah, there's a wire there which I must have had a branch wired at some stage, and it's going straight through the trunk and out this side, so it's completely been swallowed now. So at the moment it's growing quite good, as you can see, but what I want to do is just kind of let it concentrate on the branches I want it to grow, so we can get rid of all these kind of crossing branches and things growing on the inside, and then more energy then can go into the outer branches, and we might give them a little bit of a pruning too, so that they can start branching out. So first thing I'm going to do is come inside here and start taking out some of these inner branches that are growing in towards each other. There's one down here we can get rid of. And we have this branch here with this one above it, so this one will probably get rid of the smaller one. The trees are always covered in spiders. But they're always covered in these little spiders, different types. See, there's a kind of a yellow one there and a little black one. But I don't seem to, touch wood, suffer too much with anything else, so I'm hoping that there's so many spiders on my trees, they're keeping away all the other little bugs that would be eating my trees. So here now we've got a few with this heavy branch which isn't really doing much. Another one behind it with this one here. I think we would like to keep the heavy one, maybe. Yeah, let's have a look. This one we could maybe bring out, so maybe we could get rid of this heavy one. What I'll do is I'll just take it back to this branch. This one might grow out here and then might be alright. This one back here I think is kind of too low, kind of coming out funny down there. We'll get rid of that one. Again, this one. We have this one, so maybe we can. No, we'll keep it. We'll keep the two of them for now. We've got this one here, which is kind of crossing into the other tree, so we'll get rid of that one. Now it's a matter of in the middle. It's a thorn now, I'll take that out. Another thorn here, we can get rid of. One in here. Now I think what I'm going to do is start deciding which ones I'm going to keep, and we'll prune them back a bit. I'm going to prune them to outward facing branches. Again, we've got a couple here growing in towards the other tree, but definitely don't want this one. Let's trim that there for now. I'll prune this one to an outward facing branch. Maybe this one could come back another little bit. These back here, I'll prune them right back to outward facing branches as well. This one's probably a bit heavy, so we'll take him back another bit. Take him back to these branches in here. Sucker there, we'll get rid of that one. Now we do have two here together, so maybe we'll get rid of one of them. We'll take off this one here. keep that one. This one we can probably get rid of. This one back here, we can keep him back there. This one, put to that branch. Trim that one back. Just chop that to there for now. We'll have a look. And now this one. I think that one could possibly come back to there. This guy will take back this outward branch. Take that one right back. Take out this sharp one coming straight forward. Now, do I want this side of the tree a bit lower? Maybe have the apex here with a lower bit here. So we'll take that one back to there. Take out that inside one. There's this one. This one's coming right down here. So again, with a couple here, we can probably get rid of that. This one's kind of a bit too horizontal. We'll get rid of that one. That one off there, and I'll take that one off there. Eventually we'll lose one of them, but for now we'll leave them both. We'll make a decision. Now this third trunk coming back here. I'm wondering, do I want that branch at all? Don't think I need it all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to chop it right back to here. Maybe even lower. There's a wood there, we'll take it to here for now. And then just this back one. Reduce that one. So there's a couple again there, we can choose which one we want at a later stage. Okay, so that's kind of set up now to grow, but grow in the right directions. So I think that will be okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'll give you a little look at that now. All the way around. It has a really ugly root here, so I plant it around this rock. So eventually it'll be probably lifted out a bit. I was afraid to take off that root as it was such a big root and there wasn't a lot of root on it when I was planting it. Maybe I can take it off one day, or maybe it'll grow around this rock and look quite good. Let's see. I could tidy up these stubs a bit if I want to, but I might as well leave them till the next time and let them just let the tree keep growing for a while. Okay, so we'll put this one out and we'll bring in the next tree. Okay, so the next tree is this elm that I collected. Collected again a few years back, just on the side of the road. And last year we planted it on this piece of bog wood. And I just used these cable clips and nail it to hold the roots tight to the woods coming out here. And yeah, it's grown quite well, as you can see, doing good. Eventually it'll probably get lifted out a bit out of this part. All these clips can be taken off. Again, little spider's webs. But you can see some of the shoots are getting pretty long now, so I'm just going to reduce it back a bit. If he gets too strong, then all these ones back here will die off. They get shadowed out, and all the energy will be going into all these long new shoots. So, like with my Chinese elms, I like to keep them pruned a bit if we can. So, we'll just go in, prune these back. Trying to keep our pads tight. Like I said, if I see that the tree is getting weak or anything, then I'll let them grow out, strengthen up. If I want to thicken a branch, then I'll let it grow out. But when it's grown good and healthy, I like to try and keep it in some bit of a shape. I find that just helps keep it healthy, because otherwise, like I said, you end up with your inner leaves dying off. Again, like I always say, you want to create gaps between your beds. So that's what I'll do here. You can see just this was completely full. So now I'm just, as I'm pruning these back, I'm creating space there. Get rid of all these up branches growing straight up, and then any from the top growing down, we'll get rid of them, and then you end up with a nice bit of a gap there. You see here again, there's no gap here, so as I prune this up, you'll see what I mean. You get branches that grow from here and they go straight up through the canopy and out the top, and then once they're out into the light at the top, they start growing crazy then. You want to try and get it so you can see some of your branch structure. Helps to make the tree look a bit more miniature. Just there, you know, you can see there's a lot more space there. I can bring the camera in a little closer so you can actually see that. Always pruning to an outward facing leaf, so my next branch will grow outwards. Still end up when I'm growing inwards, but at least it gets the majority of them growing outwards. Bury my tools. Look over them in a minute. Okay, so you can see there now it's starting to look a little bit more tree-like rather than just looking like a bush. pretty big leaves in here. Just trying to see, do I want to get rid of them? Because there is a straight bit of the tree here. Oh, this is, I see what that is. This is the thread graft that I put in here. That's why I've left that one to grow. I thread grafted a branch coming from this one here. I don't know if you can see that. You can see just looping down there. Looping down, goes around the tree, comes back through the tree and out this side. So this is the branch from it, because this used to be my front when I had it in a pot, and I needed another branch out this side, but now it's kind of at the back, so it's not as important anymore, but I'll still let it keep growing. And these leaves are off that branch, but I will take them back a bit. Now I'm not that pushed, it can take its time to grow now. I'm just going to keep going around the tree, just pruning it up. So what I'll do is I'll just pause the video now for a little while and I'll carry on pruning, and then you see how long they get once they hit the top. And then we'll come back and have a look at it and see what it looks like. Okay, so I think we're done with this one. As you can see now, it's a lot lighter. You can see through the tree, you can see the branch structure, which means the light can get in as well, which will stop all these inner leaves dying off. So yeah, that one seems to be pretty good, all done. So let's get in the next tree, we'll have a look. Okay, so the next one is this Chinese privet. It's again growing a bit crazy, so let's just give it a quick pruning back. Just get it into some bit of shape. I had this one in my shed for the winter and didn't do much, just kind of sat there to be honest, but now it's outside, it's starting to gain vigor, so I don't want these big heavy branches taken off. Some of the branches still have a bit of leaf burn when I brought them out first. A lot of leaves burnt off a bit. But now it's starting to grow in its outdoor leaves. And leave time just to thicken up a bit. So basically there's one branch kind of going a bit cross. The whole thing here, so we'll get rid of that one back. So let's go a bit up, we'll get rid of them. This was just a cutting off, I had one of these and I took some cuttings off it. Like now when I pruned it, I just stuck some different cuttings in like that. And I got a few trees from it, and a few cuttings, and they all grew and stuff, and the main tree died. But luckily I'd taken cuttings, because at least now I have a few of them. I have a bunch of them on top of my Chinese statues that I've put together, the Chinese gods. And that's grown pretty well now, that'll be coming in soon for a pruning. Okay, so I think that's all we need to do with that one, not a lot. Just reduce it back, we did take quite a bit off it. A lot of thick long branches, you can see how thick some of them are, quite thick. That'll just keep growing up, straight up, and getting stronger and stronger, taking the vigour out of the lower branches. This one here, I want to just thicken this one up a bit, but all the rest seem okay. Okay, so that was a quick one. We'll put that back out and we'll bring in one more tree, I think. Okay, so the next one is this fuchsia, and again we got straight branches just going straight up, and you can see the lower branches getting weaker. All the energy is going into all these, so we want to prune these back. Again, I'll just do this kind of like a hedge pruning. Grow this as a hedge. I had it myself as a hedging before. We've got one little tiny flower down here, but we don't want it down there. It will flower eventually, but we need to just give it a bit of a pruning back. Get rid of these ones that grow straight up, and it does respond well to a pruning, hedge pruning. I won't be as vigorous down here, and let some of these thicken up a bit. Just reduce the tips maybe. They do grow from old wood, send shoots from old wood, so you do keep getting shoots popping out all over the branches. I'm literally gonna just prune it back like I would a hedge. Spiders' webs all over it. Like I said, I was tempted to give my trees a bit of a spray, get rid of some of these spiders, but like that I don't seem to have, like I said, touch wood, don't have any trees at the moment suffering from any aphids or anything like that, which I normally do, so I don't know. The spiders actually eat aphids. I don't think they do. Well, they might have to get caught in the webs and stuff, but whatever they're doing there, doesn't seem to be as many or any at the moment aphids on any of my trees. So if it is the spiders, we'll leave them off. I'd rather the spiders and the webs, except in the mornings when you look at them with the dew on them. You don't really, like, you can see some webs on them when you're working on them and stuff, but not a lot. In comparison to when there's dew on them, it looks like there's a blanket over all my trees, so all the trees are just covered in webs. And the dew sits on them and it's like a white cloak over them all. I do seem to like the trees. Okay, so I think that one's pretty much done. Again, just another collected tree I collected a few years back. I did plant this when it was small on top of a car. I had like a little old-fashioned car that I planted on top of, but it quickly outgrew the car. So yeah, there's a bit of wire on it up here, but looks okay for now. We'll leave that. A few suckers coming out. Yeah, so like I said, it will flower, they usually do. But I do want to try and keep it under control, because I think it was this one of my fuchsias last year, I think it was this one. It grew a bit too strong on top, and then I didn't lose the branch. I think it was this branch on this tree actually. I didn't lose the branch, but it barely grew at all. It had tiny leaves on it, and they didn't grow. There was no new shoots or anything. It just sat basically dormant with a few little leaves on it. I thought I was going to lose that whole branch, which would have been a disaster. But as long as you kind of keep them pruned, then keep the energy going to the lower branches as well, and the light and stuff seems to be doing okay. So that's the way I try and keep these down. Okay, so I think that's enough for this video. Just looking at this branch here, looks on the camera, it looks like it's sticking up in the air, but in real life it doesn't. Doesn't look bad. It looks pretty horizontal there, but when I'm looking at it in the camera, it looks like it's going up at an angle. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. It does have a funny root, this one. That's why I planted on the car before. It has this kind of funny flat root going across this way. It's just the way it was, because it was grown kind of, I don't know, it might have been grown on some pretty bad soil. So it was obviously growing over a rock or something. But yeah. So we'll leave it at that. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and throw in a text if you want, and let me know what you think, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.